What would have been the state of English literature without the creative contribution of this literary genius? Geoffrey Chaucer was a prominent literary figure during the pre-Elizabethan period in English literature. Chaucer's surname derives from the French word chaussier, which means the shoemaker. His father and grandfather were both London vintners. He was trusted and aided by three successive kings, Edward III, Richard II, and Henry IV. Geoffrey Chaucer is considered as the man who developed English literature at the time when the common literary languages were French and Latin. Moreover, he was the first to write in the language of the common people of his time. Hence, John Dryden rightly called Chaucer the father of English poetry. Chaucer was the English Homer, for he had contributed so much to English language as Homer had done to Greek language. Edward Albert calls him the earliest of the great moderns because Chaucer stands at the end of the Middle Ages and the beginning of the modern age. He is also called the morning star of the Renaissance, for his poetry reflects the Italian Renaissance. Chaucer believed in the medieval chivalry, which stood for love, heroism, and religion. Hence, he was also called the midsummer of English chivalry. In the year 1359, the early stages of the Hundred Years' War, Edward III invaded France and Chaucer was part of the English army. In 1360, Chaucer was captured during the siege of Reims. Edward III paid for his ransom and the poet was released. Around 1366, Chaucer married Philippa de Rose. She was a lady-in-waiting to Edward III's wife and the sister to John of Gaunt's wife. They had three children, Catherine, Thomas, and Louis. John of Gaunt was Chaucer's patron and his close friend. His frequent visit to the Italian soil gave him an avenue to learn the nature and forms of medieval Italian poetry. He was highly influenced by Jean Froissart and Petrarch, who later became literary stars. In 1374, Chaucer was appreciated for his career as a writer when Edward III granted him a gallon of wine daily for the rest of his life. This was an unusual grant given on St. George's Day, when artistic endeavors were only traditionally rewarded. In 1386, Chaucer was a member of Parliament for Kent. Chaucer's Parliament of 1386 would go down in history as the wonderful Parliament which responded to King Richard II's extravagant expenditure. He was the first English poet to use the 7-line stanza in iambic pentameter, known as rhyme royal, and the couplet later called heroic. Rhyme royal is a rhyming stanza form that was introduced to English poetry by Geoffrey Chaucer. Thomas Huxley, who considered Chaucer his role model, hailed Chaucer as the first finder of a fair language. Chaucer's works can be categorized into three periods. The first is the French period. The Romaunt of the Rose is a partial translation of Guillaume de Larose's Roman de la Rose. Chaucer symbolized the rose as a representation of the lover's intense desire of love to win the favor and heart of the beloved. The Book of Duchess is unique for being the first poem that uses the dream vision. It was an elegy on John of Gaunt's wife, Blanche. ABC is an acrostic poem in which verses begin with successive letters of the alphabet. It has a series of prayers to the Virgin Mary. Another noticeable work during this period is Complaint unto Pity, which is a graceful love poem. The great masterpiece of Chaucer in this Italian period is Troilus and Cressida. It is set against the background of the Trojan War. It is dedicated to John Gower and it is Chaucer's largest single poem. Another major work, The House of Fame, was unfinished. It is described as a parody of Dante's Divine Comedy. Parliament of Fowls is a dream vision for St. Valentine's Day. It was composed to honor the marriage of Richard II and Anne of Bohemia in 1382. The Legend of Good Women is the fourth and final dream vision poem that recounts 10 stories of virtuous men in 9 sections. It is Chaucer's third longest poem. It is a palinode to Troilus and Cressida. treatise on the astrolabe is cited as the first example of technical writing in the English language, and it indicates that Chaucer was well versed in science as well. It is considered as the first science book written in English. Moreover, it is one of the first books in English written for children. It was written for Chaucer's own son, Louis. Chaucer's masterpiece, The Canterbury Tales, was written during the English period. It is a fictional collection of stories told by pilgrims traveling to the shrine of St. Thomas Becket at Canterbury Cathedral. The speciality of The Canterbury Tales is its realistic setting in contemporary England. He never finished his masterpiece, and even the completed tales were not finally revised. Chaucer's characters are psychologically so complex that the work has also been called by scholars as the first modern novel. It is an honor to Chaucer that since his death, each age has admired him, right from his satire on religious corruption to his humanism and realism. There is a crater on the far side of the moon named Chaucer, which has been named in honor of him. Even his funeral established a new tradition, for he was the first to be buried in the Poets' Corner of Westminster Abbey, a place of pilgrimage for literature lovers. More than 100 writers, including William Shakespeare, Jane Austen, the Bronte sisters, and Charles Dickens, are rested there.